Speechcraft is a blended learning program for non-members interested in building their communication skills. Keep your club healthy by hosting a fast-track 4, 6, or 8-week series during your club meeting to immediately boost membership. Hosting a Speechcraft is ideal to attract members to an existing club, conduct a program in the community, train staff in a business organization, begin forming a new club, and fundraising for your club expenses. In the masterclass, you'll discover how to host a series and benefit to both your club and members, effectively market your Speechcraft program, that's a big one, and design promotions that attract visitors, then how to convert them into members. The key to the success of your program is marketing. And our presenter knows a few things about marketing. With over 45 years in graphic design, distinguished Toastmaster Cheryl Rauch has written 5 books on marketing and presented over 3,500 full-day seminars across Canada and around the world. And add to that, she's been an active Toastmaster for nearly 4 decades. And in the past, she was a district governor for District 5 from San Diego, California. Professionally, Cheryl is the youngest woman to have earned the accredited speaker designation from Toastmasters. Give her an electronic round of applause. A 17-time published author, her Solid Gold newsletter design book was created for Toastmasters, VPPR, and membership roles, and it became a course book for marketing at the University of Ottawa. And Cheryl is also a member of, has authored Heart of the Toastmaster, which was published in 135 true stories by our members and received the Best Anthology Award from the International Book Awards. That's Jan Mills from Kelowna on the right, a fellow Canadian. With the masterclass on how to attract and convert visitors into members and marketing a club Speechcraft series, let's welcome distinguished Toastmaster, get ready to applaud, accredited speaker, Cheryl Rauch.
Woo! Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hello, welcome to this master class. That was a brilliant overview of the entire Speechcraft program. I love it. Really well done, Louisa. So, all right, so let's light up the chat. You're going to want to open up the chat box. Make sure to download the handout. Please start by answering this question. Why did you join Toastmasters? Why did you join Toastmasters? What originally brought you into our organization, through the doors or online? All right, to be able to speak off the cuff, thank you for getting us going. All right. Thank you, thank you. Okay, to start a new club, thank you. Great, thank you. Keep going, keep going. To meet a community, wonderful. All right, thank you. You're lighting it up. To meet a community of new people, to be a more effective speaker in any situation. Date night in a small town. Really, Dan? Okay, to speak in public. Thank you, Emmerich. Thank you. Recommended by a friend. Good, and you're still friends. Great. All right, to speak to your CXOs, thank you. Talk at a retirement celebration, to feel comfortable speaking to larger groups, to get experience speaking. Oh, these are fantastic, effective speaker. All right, to learn to teach a class, to gain confidence at speaking at work, to be more comfortable with presentations and networking, to start a French language club. We have produced, by the way, District 61, we have produced this program and on marketing in French. So by the way, and we just presented it as well in District 81, the Caribbean in French. So to attract new members, to feel comfortable public speaking, thank you, thank you. Part of your military communication skill set, thank you, Anton. Thank you. Jealousy and spite. My wife came home one day and she said she joined. I love it. To pass your PhD exam. I love it. Look at all of this. This is great. So here's my first question back to you as I reflect this, as Pat Johnson would say in coaching, is that the reasons that you joined, chances are really high that other people want the same things that you have gained as a benefit of this organization. And speaking of Pat Johnson, she actually snapped this shot of me. This is in Old Town, historic Old Town, San Diego, California. This is the Mexican restaurant where I walked in one day. I was invited at a Chamber of Commerce meeting after seriously messing up my self-introduction, a woman came over and she started talking to me and asked me, well, what are the greatest challenges that I have being in business? Well, my greatest challenge was to be able to give my employees feedback with respect, as they were all my senior. And she said, well, you might be interested in this 8-week communication skills series. Tell you what, I'll even buy you breakfast. I thought, wow, I really need this, don't I? Well, I had no idea that when I walked through the doors that morning, I was walking into the Toastmaster experience. That was March 19th, 1987. So, yes, nearly 38 years ago, I joined Toastmasters at the invitation for a free breakfast and an 8-week communication skills series, and I'm still here. So I believe in the power of Speechcraft, and I hope that you do after our short time in this master class. If you've not yet downloaded the handout, please do. This is going to be loaded with information for you, and I'll be supplementing what Louisa did in her Pecha Kucha. So really well done on that. Really well done. All right, so let's jump in on the first page there. Marketing is what? That's my next question to you. Let's light up the chat again. Let's light up the chat again. All right. So then marketing is what? Please complete this sentence. All right. Marketing is what? Useful. Thank you. Hopefully, yes. I love this stuff. All right. Marketing is inspiring. Thank you. Good, Marwan. Thank you. It's fun and essential. Eye-catching. Hopefully, yes. All right. Keep going. Telling a story. Thank you. Connecting people with what they need. Thank you. Moving people to do something. It's a sales pitch. It could be finding people who can help. Communication of something that you want to share. Increasing sales for a company. Selling, helping people, showing people you can help them. Wow, this is great. Light this up. It is more than advertising. Thank you. It's generating interest. Thank you. Finding members, especially for us. Information, find the solution to the problem. Absolutely. Marketing is making someone or something well to know to everybody. Oh, all right. Building demand. Great. It's an invite to something of interest to you. Well, just like why I asked you the question of why did you join, it's going to be of interest to someone else as well. Helping information find its path to those in need, showing the benefits of the products, ideas, distinguish yourself from the extraordinary. Yes, thank you. Crisis management could be, yes, engaging stakeholders. Absolutely. Wow, this is great. Well, thank you. All of those answers are correct. Here's what I believe marketing is for you and me. It is getting the word out. We are the solution to their problem. Whatever their issue, their challenge, their desired outcome that we have. And when we work the program, this program works. I'm nearly 4 decades. Go ahead and put into the chat. Who's been in longer than me? Oh, salute. Okay, I love it. So getting the word out that we are the solution to the problem. So here's our greatest challenge is that we actually have 2 markets in Toastmasters. We have an internal market, which are our current members. Then we have our external, which are potential members, those visitors that we want to bring into our unique experience of our club and invite them to join. We're going to be focusing primarily in this masterclass on the external. However, it all relates. And if you have a business of your own, a product, a service, your organization, if you are selling anything, here's the bottom line. You might want to write this one down. Match the message to that audience. Match the message. So we need to align them. If not, no matter what we do, it isn't going to work. So here's an example, and thank you very much, Louisa, for this internal message, this social media message that went out for tonight's master class. All right, so this is internal. It's us talking to us. Yep. And it still follows what we're going to talk about in the 3 stages of how to communicate with your readers. Here's an external. Anytime that we do something like an open house or a communication workshop or a free seminar, that's external outside of the organization. So you might be thinking, well, why is this so important? And as Louisa had said as club growth director, that we need to have more than 15 people showing at our meeting, because in meeting math, let's break it down. There's 15 meeting rules. That's a regular meeting with 3 speakers without overlap. You know what I mean. So the speaker doesn't evaluate their own speech and they don't count their own ahs. I know we've done it before. All right. So then plus you have one Zoom master. So if it's hybrid or virtual, that's 16 people minimum right there. But there's more. Because then we want table topics participants, again, that those people are not the major functionaries nor the prepared speakers, plus 2 visitors per meeting, plus audience. You see where we're going with this? Oh my goodness. Well, the goal, please write this down. I know, take a breath. 25 people at a meeting. Is it possible? Yes, raise your hand. Yes, it is. And before the pandemic, we had more than that. And people came to the in-person meetings because of the energy exchange, because of the networking, because they felt like part of a community. Let's bring all of that back to every single one of our clubs. So the goal is how many? 25 at a meeting. So then what is a healthy membership? When we talk about that and how invigorating that our meetings are, especially with creative club meeting themes, 20 has been and still is considered to be charter strength. That's true for our community, our specialty, our advanced clubs. 20 is charter strengths. Anything less than that, we are not fulfilling our mission of upholding our charter. Now, Pat Johnson, past international president, originally from Victoria, District 21. Then 25 is suggested for employee training programs inside of corporations. 25, and the company, the business is responsible for maintaining that 25. More members, you know it just like I do, more creativity, more energy, more feedback, more fun. Most people join Toastmasters, regardless of what we wrote in the chat. It really is to gain confidence, to gain self-confidence. I needed it for my self-introductions as well as to give feedback to my employees. We want to gain greater self-confidence. So by speaking in our small groups, keeping our clubs healthy, then we receive more feedback. So let's pull back the curtain and thank you for all of our international guests in this masterclass tonight. Thank you. You'll be able to take this back to your clubs, your districts, your regions as well. We are all one big global family. So this slide is specific to District 96 in British Columbia, Vancouver, as well as Yukon. Currently, we have 1,606 members in 94 clubs. We want to also increase that number over 100, and not only in celebration of our centennial this year, but because over 100 clubs in a district also maintains its health. So let's break this down. Simple math. That means of 94 clubs with 1,606 members, that's an average of 17 members per club. Think about your club for a second. Do you have 17 members on your roster? If not, you are definitely going to want these tips on marketing and promotion in general and Speechcraft specifically. In District 96, there are currently 52 clubs that have less than 15 members. If I did my math correctly, that's about 56%, over half. Let's do our part to invite people into our club experience. Let's invite them to share the fun and to reap the benefits that you and I have over how long that we have been members. Share it with other people. So let's continue to identify some of those needs, the problems, and the challenges. In addition to what you wrote in the chat, there's self-confidence at the top of the list. Now more than ever, job interview skills, to ask a boss for a raise or even a weekend off for holiday, to use virtual platforms more effectively. As Toastmasters, we were cutting edge when the pandemic shut down in-person meetings around the globe. We were right there teaching people how to use these platforms, how to facilitate a meeting either in person or online. We're the leaders in that. How to present a proposal, a bid, or an idea. To improve interpersonal communication skills, which now the people have returned back to the workplace and they are remembering to wear their shoes and that they have face-to-face communications with people. They need to improve those skills. All right, how to give and receive feedback, networking skills. Feel free to capture screenshots of these. So you will not be receiving the full deck of my slides, but I'll indicate what I think, if I were you, what might be important to capture a couple of slides. So this is one of them, and it is being recorded. You're welcome to watch this over and over again. This is not dated information, and the concepts are tried and proven. So as you think about people you could invite to your club, or potentially to a 4, 6, or 8-week communication skills program, who are those ideal potential members? Feel free to put into the chat your answers to this very first bullet point question. Who needs the skills Toastmasters offers? Who are they? Who needs them? Thank you. Keep lighting up the chat. What are their needs, their problems, their challenges, their desired outcomes? Like you had a goal just as I did for joining. When might be convenient for them to attend a club, either online or in person? Because the next question, where are they located? Geographically, maybe they do want an in-person or a hybrid meeting, or they could be anywhere around the globe and become a member of your club and benefit greatly. Why would they attend? As Louisa's presentation said, well, what's in it for me? They're looking for, what are those benefits? How is this going to improve my life personally, professionally? The bottom line is, will they invest? Sometimes we complain about how much the monthly dues are, but if we took a look at tuition at major universities and colleges and institutions, it's a fraction of the cost. So now that we are looking at who needs this, let's see what's in it for them and start creating the promotions. Are you ready? All right. So in the handout, I've brought together, and let me give you a couple of tips along the way, of when we look at what's in it for us, words that we want to exclude or not use or avoid, reframe in communication terms, anything that has to do with join us. That's about us. So if we're looking for big golden nuggets here, this would be a big one, and that is to be reader-centered. Reader-centered is about them, not about us. If you can, completely avoid using the word us, especially when we are promoting an open house, because it's about us, join us for our open house. No, those don't promote. Those don't bring people in. Let's flip the script on that. From my other professional presentations, and I love marketing, as you heard in the introduction, it's over 45 years and 5 books under my belt just on that particular topic. I love this stuff. But I'll give you some insight into what you can do to promote who your readers are and what they need placed where in a layout, including when you're creating a social media post and you have the text for the comment. At the top of page 2, inside of the handout, if you would, chat master, go ahead and put the handout back into the chat again for us. Thank you. So understanding what our readers need, and this information does come from the American Library Association. And although I have spoken across all of the Canadian provinces, I do quote this. I do not have statistics for Canada, but you'll get the idea of where I'm going with this. So 10 to 15% of readers are typically non-readers. You and I fit into this category when we get really busy and we're going through our mail and we hold it up to a light and kind of hold it back. It's like, nope, junk mail, nope, nope. Oh, it could be important. Oh, it's a greeting card for the holidays. And we open that. When we are very busy or something does not seem to relate to us, we fall into the non-reader category. Now, for graphic design and promotion, simple words and text, photographs, any type of visuals will also help this reader and grab their attention, because the second percentage matches the first at 10 to 15%. They read everything. You would have read the entire Eventbrite information regarding this masterclass tonight. And do you get credit for club officer training afterward? Yes, you do. You are the ones too that if there was a typographical mistake, I didn't find any, but if you did, you're in this category. They read everything. They need the facts, the details, the statistics. They prefer the more conservative, straightforward, types of layouts. This is great. You want the stuff, not the fluff. The majority of readers today, though, and I do test this globally, 70 to 80% are skimmers. They want short body text, not the long body text like the avid readers. The skimmers want bullet points. They appreciate good graphic design, photos, and color, and prefer more progressive types of layouts. Did you find yourself in one of these categories? Well, here's what happens is that skimmers can be converted into avid readers based on what graphic design elements are placed and where in the layout. What we need to do is to balance any type of promotion that we do so we hit 100% of our potential readers. They are the potential buyers, potential new members. Let's take that a bit further. There are 3 stages of marketing communication, according to David Ogilvy in his book, Confessions of an Advertising Man. These 3 stages must occur in this order for our marketing to create the response that we want. If they're out of order, chances are diminished greatly that the promotion will work. So stay with me on this, and then we'll take a look at, well, what goes where and why, and some samples. So stage 1 of our 3 is relevance. The question that the reader is asking is, well, should I read it, file it, toss it? Can I click it, recycle it? It needs to answer the what's in it for me very quickly, because according to Ogilvy's research, it is as brief as 1 to 7 seconds. On a billboard going down the interstate, it's like 2.3 seconds. Same thing on a website, 2 seconds between clicks and we're clicking away. If something doesn't relate to us, we have moved on. True. So we need to grab their attention. We'll do that with questions. I'll come back to that. So stage 2, then, now that they're thinking it's relevant, they want to confirm, were they correct? Was I correct? Does it relate to me? Now they'll give it longer. This is great. Depending on how relevant it appears to be, what the perception is, the time available is longer. Now it's up to 90 seconds. So a minute and a half, they're reading through whatever that particular piece is. Again, these must occur in this order. Stage 1, relevance. Stage 2, confirmation. Stage 3 is action, or the call to action. The question that the reader's asking here, you and I do the same thing, is, well, was I correct? Does it relate to me? What's the next step? What do I do next? And the time available is as long as needed because of those 3 reading populations. So where does all of this get placed into the layout? Stage 1 relevance is in the very small top portion of the layout. Let's say in a portrait vertical type of layout such as this. So my favorite relevance grabber, pattern interrupt, because people are busy and they're inundated with information, is to ask a question, either 1 or 3 questions that name the pain and hand it back to them in the form of a question. Or that question relates to their desired outcome. What is it that they want? Ask that in the headline. This is not the best place for the Toastmasters logo. Sorry. The logo is a stage 3 item. It does not go in a stage 1 placement. So relevance, we grab their attention in less than 7 seconds. Confirmation is the longer information. This could be, the details, the specifics, the bullet points. What else do they need to know? If you're having a guest speaker, that's information about that guest speaker and what am I going to gain from the investment of my time, even if it's free. We're looking for, well, is this worth my time? Stage 3, in a small portion of the layout down at the bottom. I love it when the call to action circles back up to the question being asked in relevance. It's the same thing with award-winning speeches. Just saying, there's parallels right there. All right, so this is what goes where and why. Go ahead and capture a screenshot of this one. You will never look at a piece ever the same way again. Nope, mic drop. You'll never design a piece ever the same way again either. All right, so yeah, give me some thumbs up. Is this good stuff? We could stop the masterclass right now, go right into design. You could take a look at anything that you've recently done for your club as a social media poster or any type of flyer, any type of promotion. And right now, if you were to go back and revamp, I call it tweak. If you were to tweak what that layout is and re-release it, you would see an amazing amount of increased response. It's all good. I love it. All right. So here's an example of this. This is an external social media post by the club that is posted here. So praise masters. And so here's a question. It's not bad. This is a promotion for Speechcraft. This is out of, I believe, District 1 because it's Los Angeles, LA, specifically District 1. All right. So then it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's called a let's see, it's a scholar's margin grid type of layout where it has a thin column over on the right and then less on the other side. All right, so let's break this down. What does this mean and how could it be tweaked? Stage 1, relevance up at the top. Do you want to? Now, I would have modified that a little bit, although this is a good start because these are actually questions, aren't they? So do you want to become a better speaker? Question mark. Communicate with confidence? Question mark. And I would do 3 instead of 4 bullets. There's magic in the odd numbers in marketing. All right, so then join us. Let's see, because that's what's in it for me. Join us, though. Yep, let's get rid of that. Okay, then Speechcraft. What is it? A public speaking workshop. Remember, you do not have to call it Speechcraft. That's our internal trademarked, its signature program of Toastmasters International. So what is it? It's an 8-week intensive course to do what? What's in it for me? Confirmation for me to become a more effective speaker and leader. Then it has more details and the call to action. Now see this right here where it kind of reminds me of a notary label, but that's called a starburst in marketing and advertising. Anything that is placed within the starburst, especially yellow, because yellow promotes feelings of happiness, grabs people's attention, and helps move them to action. So whatever is in the starburst is read first more often than anything else placed anywhere in the layout. I would probably move whatever goes into the starburst down to the bottom because it creates a call to action, or up at the top if it has a benefit. But this is a really good working ad. So we have the confirmation call to action down at the bottom. Now see the photo that the woman is facing off the page. And these are stock photos that you have access to in our branding portal. So the woman at the top is looking down. We have more people in the middle, but this woman is looking off of the ad. This is called implied motion. Whenever there is anything in an ad, we will look at whatever they're looking at or in that direction. So let's just flip that photo and have her looking back into the ad. Simple little tweaks. So thank you, District 1, for that. This is out of District 103, Chicago. Here's the before, which isn't bad. It's got benefits include find your swagger. Okay, so that's a call to action. It's a big thing in Chicago. I don't know if it is in BC and Yukon, but benefits include bullet points are great, has unusual number. This is great. Rock the stage. All right, not bad. And the QR code, always a good thing. So I did a tweak of it. Want to find your swagger. Here is in bold italics. Bold italics is great for capturing attention in that relevance zone. Visit a free Toastmasters Club meeting. That's a soft close, in-person, hybrid, virtual. Then the benefits include the logo in the bottom area with the QR code. Those are in external marketing for us. Those are stage 3 elements which need to be placed in a stage 3 zone. So now you're getting an idea of what goes where. Here's another one. This is from District 100, Northern Los Angeles. They were getting ready to launch a club that was for tech enthusiasts, and the club's name is Control, like Control Alt Delete, Control Speak. Pretty clever, right? So it's a new club launch. This, though, was marketed internally. We do not need to market to each other to join yet another club. Let's focus on those who do not yet know the transformative powers of our organization. Yes, you may belong to more than one club. When you're launching a new club, think about externally, though. So here's the tweak I did. 2 questions up at the top, bold italics. Do you need to give presentations for your job? Because that's what the ad is saying. Want to communicate more effectively? Yes. And reboot your career. I thought I was clever. All right. So then it has more contact information. Those are simple tweaks. So for instance, if we took St. Paul's open house, then the theme of building bridges doesn't necessarily go with Carol's say yes now. I was looking for connecting the dots on this. When you use bullet points, they are not to be bullet point and centered. Graphically, they need to be aligned left or no bullet points, right? So make sense with that. So that could just be, again, a couple of tweaks, pull the logo down at the bottom. What's in it for me? Ask a question up at the top. So Carol, it could have been a message of, are you ready to say yes to more things in your life? That's a good answer, by the way. That was good. All right. So then District 4, San Francisco Bay Area from California. I thought this was really well done. I thought this was a great idea. Help new members find your club. So be posted, be out there, be on meetup groups. So here's a list. You might want to capture a screenshot of this. So thank you, Louisa, for your slides that I had an opportunity to preview. You'll see how they relate right into this presentation as well. So I added to your list, but don't just wait for me. Keep adding to this list. And the number one way to get people to your club is still a personal invite. Just what Dr. Ralph C. Smedley did way back when he started this whole concept in the 1920s and bringing it forward. So again, it's a personal invite. Who do you know who could gain the benefits of communication skills, leadership skills? Invite them, bring them in. Which a great way to do that is to host a Speechcraft series inside of your club. I'm going to focus on inside of the club, specifically to boost membership inside of your club, which means host the series inside of your regular club meetings. If you want to launch a new club inside of a corporation or in the community, and it could be a community outreach program where the club covers the costs of the digital bundle, or that there's a nominal fee, you can decide. For a corporation, you could have 2 Speechcrafts or a double up where you have 10 people inside of a Speechcraft, inside of a corporation, that your club then hosts that inside of that business with the focus and the goal of chartering with over 21 people. So let's apply this into building your club's membership. So if you are VP of membership, VP PR, all of this so far is related to you. I will tell you though, and especially since tonight is also club officer training that you get credit for, that when I first joined Toastmasters, I had gone with my family to Australia for my brother's wedding. Do not leave your club meeting when nominations are going to be happening. I was nominated while I was gone. I came back in time to be installed, but here's the beauty of it all. It was a good thing. I was nominated, elected, and served Sergeant at Arms. I am so thankful that I started with Sergeant at Arms. So Sergeant at Arms, if that's your role, be proud, be loud, be mighty. I can tell you when I walk into a room today, anywhere in the world, what needs to be changed, what needs to be modified, how is it going to be conducive for the attendees. So I thank you, Toastmasters, for that experience, and also helped me to become a professional meeting planner. So Speechcraft is when you get to become, especially VP of Education, working with your other club members and officers to produce a series. 4, 6, or 8 weeks. Speechcraft must be produced, hosted by a club with a member of that club who will then receive credit for doing this project toward their distinguished Toastmaster. I'll give you some additional tips, adding to what Louisa had already said. All right, so I'm thrilled to announce, as our trio is, that you have a Speechcraft chair for District 96. She's joining us via phone, but here's what she looks like. Yay! So it's Tara. Thank you, Tara DeLuke. She is the District Speechcraft chair, and she will tell you her story, and hopefully she'll be joining us when she does get to her destination and can hop in. She'll tell you about the successful Speechcraft program that she just did. All the questions that you're asking, so continue to keep putting the Q in front of the questions into the chat box. All of those are being collected collected. And Tara and the team will be addressing those questions, if not during the chat box in this masterclass, they will be collected and provided for you after the masterclass as well. So Tara is going to be your connection, your contact for all things Speechcraft. All right. So then, as it was mentioned previously, it is $50 for the Speechcraft bundle, which provides for 4 people who are called speech crafters. So let me answer a big question that is often asked here. Do the members of the club have to pay to participate in Speechcraft? No, it's a benefit. This is a great way to re-energize your current members. The speech crafters who are potential members are the ones who pay the tuition that they invest in the course. So it's hosted by a club. The club pays the $50, which takes care of the digital information for up to 5 speech crafters. So the biggest question I get next is, what happens if you don't have 5? We cleared this. Ann Golden, who's going to be presenting in January for you about how to be a Speechcraft coordinator. We went directly to TI and we asked, because people were asking in the session, how many minimum speech crafters do you need to have in order to receive credit for hosting the Speechcraft? 1. We think that the goal ought to be 5 minimum and go for 10. Then you can have 2 coordinators. So you could have 2 coordinators. What happens if you have 8 participants? Great. You can still have 2 coordinators, 4 people each. Both receive credit toward their DTM because you will have earned it. So the club member becomes the coordinator. The question I often get asked here is, well, can 2 clubs sponsor the same Speechcraft? No. So it is only 1 at that. Aha. Are there resources? Abundant resources. We'll light up the chat there. Thank you very much to our PQD Sherry. Thank you very much for putting all of these links in there. You are going to want to save the chat, by the way. So there's a video. If you're thinking, well, I'm not sure yet, watch the video on YouTube on TI's channel. All right, so back into the handout, then I've given you information that I think would be important to know that you can read for yourself. I'm going to hit some highlights and cover some more information I think you'd like to know. So on page 3, this is information on how to plan, engage your current members, promote, conduct, and regarding, there it is, 4, 6, or 8-week sessions. During the regular club meeting, that's where I'm focusing on, but you do have options on that, in 1 to 2 hours each week. So again, think about when you first joined Toastmasters and how many other people may have come in at the same time, how you wanted to get onto the schedule. Or maybe you didn't want to, but you needed to give that icebreaker. I remember I cried my entire icebreaker, by the way, and I had 19 Oz. It was pretty ugly. Anyway, so there's a nominal fee which covers the digital materials, and ideally club dues paid for their initial 6-month membership. All right, so here's a TI policy on this. And if you're thinking fundraiser, yes, it is. Yes, it is. So the TI policy is that you may not charge more tuition for the Speechcraft program than 2 dues periods. So 6 months and 6 months, whatever that dues is that is being charged, it cannot be more than that. So the maximum fee is 120 US or 125 Canadian. That's so you could charge, especially for corporations. They're going to see the value in this. To bring a professional trainer like me in, no, they're looking at thousands US dollars. So this is nothing. This is a great investment for an organization. We'll come back to that because here is Louisa's slide. So what do you charge? Well, $20 US for the membership fee, 60 US for 6 months dues, plus a $10 because if you take the 50 and divide it by 5, you got $10 each. So then it's recommended then for 125 Canadian, including the 6 months dues. This is referred to as staying for additional practice. It got me. I'm here, but 30 some odd years later. So on page 4 inside of your handout, I've also provided for you a sample flyer. So this could be what you use to promote your Speechcraft program. Aha. What goes where, why? This is completely TI branded. So it gives you the 3 questions that name the pain in the form of a question. That's the relevance. There it is. Each of those with desired outcomes. Then the soft teaser, boost your confidence and your career, in 8 weeks. So then we often talk about, well, does it have to be 8 weeks? No. Could it be as brief as 4? Yes. Example, what if you are having a 4-week, we'll call it a crash course in interpersonal communication skills, public speaking for C-suite executives at an organization? 4 weeks, 2 hours each week might be all the time they can afford, but yet would also pay the maximum fee because they see the value in it. Then they could stay, join a local club, or now that they've had some experience of this, create that they may say, well, let's launch a club for our business. Yes. Then you want to reach out to Louisa as our club growth director and let her know, because she has a team in place for starting new clubs, and especially in corporate training environments. So people stay for the practice. 6 weeks seems to be most common at this time because people are very busy. Think about, though, how many speech crafters that you are going to have. With 5 speech crafters, 8 weeks might be appropriate. When you purchase the digital bundle, there are a couple of things you need to know. And by the way, when you purchase the bundle now, it may or may not be delivered until after January 3rd of 2025. I was just in the website yesterday and I saw that notice that anything that's ordered before now and the end of this calendar year may not be fulfilled until January 3rd of the new year. So that's important to know. So then when you purchase it, keep your purchase code. Do not enter the start date for your series or the Speechcraft coordinator's name. Those cannot be changed. Everything else in what you're thinking, everything else in the form that you fill out, it could be changed, but not those 2 things. So do not name the start date because you may want to change it, and do not name the Speechcraft coordinator. All right. All of this is done with TI branding, so you could follow this as an example. And again, the Speechcraft content, these are the actual topics of what the Speechcrafters will be learning. This is what you and I learned when we first joined Toastmasters. That's item number 493, by the way, if you just want to go in and download that for free regarding the Speechcraft material. So this now on page 5 is a flyer that could be used for the promotion. Again, follows the relevance, confirmation, call to action down at the bottom. So you could use this is in your handout, and that you put in the information down at the bottom, including what is a tuition. And I would use the word tuition as an investment because of the mindset. And again, you could change the title. Speechcraft is trademarked. It is used as one word only with the capital S, not with a capital C, not broken apart. This is trademarked. So you could call it Communication Skills Series. So what do you do with those topics then? Well, just like what was in the last slide, where do you get that and where do you get the speakers for it? Your club members. This is how they get re-energized. They need to be guides and mentors, guest speakers, evaluators, and people sitting there holding their hand as they're going through and learning to applause, and how do you address the chair, and how do you know they're going to say ah. My tip, watch their lips. You can see it coming. So wait, then what do you do for those particular topics? Glad you asked, because we also have a resource for that. Use the Better Speaker series set. which are 10 to 15-minute educational presentations that can be given by club, area, division, district members. You could have someone present on what that topic is from the other side of the world and really re-energize your club members. I'll come back to the Better Speaker Series set in just a second. So page 6 are frequently asked questions that I thought would be important for you to know, so you can skim right through it. And let's see, anything on there? It's pretty straightforward there. And as Louisa had said, one of the first things to do is to engage your current members. When I pitched this to my club, and I'll tell you more of the story in just a moment, then I wanted to make sure that my executive team, because I was not an officer, I was a member concerned about the health of our club. I needed to talk to them and say, hey, would you be interested? Is this something that we want to do? So you want to engage your members. And then again, consider running the Speechcraft during your regular meetings. And it just super right imposes there. And then the VP of Education, you will be working directly with the Speechcraft coordinator to make sure that everything runs quite smoothly. And it's actually less work for you as VP of Education. Create the promo. So now you know. So for instance, with this one, now crystal clear speakers, thank you. Some of the samples were provided to me. The rest, I sought them out. All right. So when you have a graphic such as this, remember, go back to the 3 stages: relevance, confirmation, and action. This graphic could be tweaked slightly because the most important thing in it to me to attend this event is what I highlighted over there in the comment. It's about to master the art of persuasive storytelling to help leaders stand out, confidently share their message, and make an impact. Then who is it for? Aha! Whether you're a speaker, leader, or just looking to improve your communication, this session is for you. So the logo is down at the bottom, QR code down at the bottom. I would ask a question up at the top, because there isn't a question that names a pain. It could be, want to be a better storyteller. I want to be a more persuasive storyteller. Again, slight tweaks, just slight tweaks on that. Again, think about what's in it for them. It's great that we have our anniversaries. Again, think about then, why is that important? You can use an anniversary. My club uses them as an alumni gathering. And every single time, it seems that members that have kind of drifted away for whatever reason, they come back to this anniversary meeting, they rejoin. Great idea. All right. So then let's talk features versus benefits. Features are what a thing does. So for instance, what's a feature of our meeting? What's a feature of our meeting? Let's see. Oh, okay. Features would be 3 speakers, impromptu speaking. It's what? It's not the why. The benefits are the why, as in what's in it for me. So this particular internal marketing could have been shifted slightly, because what's listed over here, training well feature, there's lots of sessions. Me, I want to know how many. Training will feature, bullet list of features. What's in it for me? What's in it for me? What's in it for me? So please, club officer trainers, as you are prepping for your session following this master class, think about what's the benefit to those that you are training. What benefits did you gain by serving in that office? I'm a past district governor. I get it. What's in it for them? What's in it for them that they are a repeat officer? What's in it for them if they're a member of an advanced club? Been there, done that. What's in it for them now? And put yourself in their shoes and honor their time. Get them involved. What are the benefits? How have they transformed as a result of? So here's an example from Sunshine Toastmasters Club. I kept looking for features. I kept looking for benefits. This could be tweaked quickly, because the benefit is improving your public speaking and leadership skills. Yet it could be easily tweaked to make it work using the 3 stages and adding some branding. So this is part of the story that I want to tell you about my club. And not because it's my club, it's because it's potentially what you can do as well. I did approach my club because I was concerned about the lack of health of how many members were coming to our meetings. This particular club, Sharp Toastmasters, met inside of a hospital in San Diego. I'm thinking, wow, all right, so how many employees are here? And how is it that we only have this few of members? What if we were to do a free seminar followed, here's the strategy, a free seminar, not an open house, free seminar or free workshop, followed by a Speechcraft program launching 2 weeks later. Oh, well, we've tried, nothing's ever worked. Aha, there needs to be a strategy in place. Get everybody involved. Make sure that everybody takes ownership of the health of the club. So engage your current members, absolutely the first thing to do. So I said, well, tell you what, I'll be happy to present a free seminar, my best professional stuff from my signature Speak Like a Pro that people can use. And let's focus on the employees of the hospital as our ideal potential members. And we did. We had emergency room nurses, we had administrators. All right, well, what would they be interested in? The very first golden nugget from this master class. You remember, flip back to page 1. You probably wrote it down someplace really important. Match the message to that audience. If we want to bring in more hospital employees, we need to speak their language. So here it is, ideal for any level of management, administration, patient care, and in any industry or field. Bring your friends, supervisors, and coworkers to this program. Aha. All right. So match the message. Who do you want? Who are your current members that you want more like them? Or maybe there's an industry or field or profession. And then, so let's break it down. The relevance, the questions that name the pain, the challenge, or the desired outcome goes back to the 3 stages. Confirmation confirms how this is relevant, or let's see, in French, it's pertinent to them. And then the benefits, bullet points have the benefits, the credibility of the speaker, blah, 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 blah. It was me, but more credibility because people want to know, well, what does this person know about this? And why should I care? Is it worth my time? And by the way, have food. Definitely have food. The call to action down at the bottom, what's the desired response? And I said, okay, how many people can this room hold? Oh, well, it says the number up there, but no, we would never do it. I go, that's our goal. That's our goal. So when you're doing this, set some goals, set a timeline. So here's what happened. With the free seminar, this flyer was used to launch an in-person Speechcraft program 2 weeks later during the regular club meeting. The club provided snacks. We all almost like potluck. There's nothing like free food that brings people together. It was promoted inside the building, the company mailboxes, email, and posted on bulletin boards, not only in the hospital, also around the community. The outcomes, 65 guests that were not members of Toastmasters, not even from another club. Those were 65 new people who came to this free seminar. We only had 10 club members. So now you're talking 75 people that were there. 14 people, I said, let's set our goal for 15. So we purchased, at that time, we could get the printed materials. So at that time, we purchased 3. This was a big stretch for a small club. We purchased 3 of the bundles. Yes. 14 people enrolled that night, and those people were so excited. They went back into their workplaces and they said, oh, I'm going to be going to this communication skills series coming up in a couple of weeks. You should come. And they did. 4 or 5 more enrolled at the series start. The club results. We went from, as our ER nurse said, we needed CPR or we would die. I'm glad she said it. So club results, 12 to 14 new members from a 6-week program. 1 member earned their DTM that was a coordinator for all of those, but the members chimed in. We were all right there for them. So that member, it was the last thing that he needed to earn his Distinguished Toastmaster. We went from ready to turn in our charter to presidents from one Speechcraft program. Here then, at the end of my program, and I've been planting the seeds, tell your story about how you have benefited. What's the transformation been for you through your association and your practice, the opportunities to grow inside of a Toastmaster club. Then at the very end, the call to action, my club members stood, they were introduced, and they started at the back of the room and walked forward with this particular flyer. Again, Toastmaster branding, colors, fonts, images, following the 3 stages of relevance, confirmation, and action. The open tick boxes, people, it's implied relevance. I need that. I need that. I need that. Oh, I need those too. And then the call to action. Amazing results. You can do this too. A little bit of planning. So shift an open house to a free seminar. Indicate what the guest speaker is going to be speaking about. 2 weeks later, be ready to launch your Speechcraft program and use it to catapult your membership growth. Call it a communication workshop. Call it, and here's another one. This one, let's see, is from District 12 in Riverside, specifically. It's east of Los Angeles. That they called it a crash course in public speaking, and it is really working for them. And they actually produce what are the sessions about. So I have some questions for you. We have taken a look at who our potential members are, what their potential needs are. How can we attract them using the 3 stages of marketing, communication, of relevance, confirmation, and action, and where does it get placed on the page layout? Here's the very first question for you. Please light up the chat. You've been thinking about who could do this, who needs this, who could you invite to your club, who could you align the message with the audience for, who needs a Speechcraft. So please light up the chat with what groups or organizations do you know of that could be served by a Speechcraft program. Light up the chat. Let's see what you say. Thank you. I was reading your chats. All right, let's see. So lighting up the, great. Thank you. Schools, thank you. Rotary, Lions, yes, and we have an alliance with Rotary, a partnership. All right, so any group that holds meeting, great. All right, what else? Because too, for schools, this is interesting. You could have a program. We do this at San Diego State University, a program specifically that's a Speechcraft for MBA students, professional associations, chambers of commerce. Yes. Ooh, this is great. Thank you. Okay. Can you run a Speechcraft 100% online? Thank you. Wow, Emmerich, thank you very much for your response. Thank you. Boy, you are going to want to save the chat from this masterclass. Real estate brokerages, yes. Radio hosts, yes. Agricultures and ranchers, churches, customer service representatives, right? So if you're thinking anybody, that is true. Let's get specific though, because your ideas placed in the chat may inspire somebody else's idea. All the volunteer groups in town who want to grow, banks, credit unions, great. Who else? Who else? Keep lighting up the chat. Because here's your next question then. Who in your club can be of support? The answer will be everyone. Who needs credit toward their DTM? In my club, the VP of Education did not know that our member only needed to do a Speechcraft program as his last project for his DTM. Start asking, ask questions, and do a moments of truth and who needs what, where, how close are you to your goals? We each joined for certain reasons. And what are those goals? And it might be time to take a pulse of what's going on in your club, especially if people are kind of feeling burned out. Maybe ask them, like I asked you, why did you originally join Toastmasters? Because I would follow that up with the next question of, well, what goals did you set? And how are you doing with those goals? When could your club host a program inside your regular meeting? Or if you're going to be hosting it outside. So here's the information on the Better Speaker Series set. Again, and we have the code that we put right into the chat box. Thank you very much. So these are educational speech materials. And as you look at it, and if you want topics for your speech craft, which perfectly align, here are the topics. Write this down. It is TI item 269. All 10 of these topics are downloaded as one zip file and absolutely free. If you want to become a better speaker, a better trainer, better facilitator, you want to download these, take a look, because these are complete programs. And I looked at it again recently. It's like, is it still current? It's still current. They come loaded with both a PDF of the slides and the PowerPoint slideshows and the curriculum guide. This is so well done. All of this is free. All of this is free. Volunteer to be a speaker for other clubs' Speechcraft programs and use the branding in all of your promotions. So I've been chatting about that a little bit. Here's a couple of things to bring to our attention. VPPR, thank you for paying attention to this. So aren't these gorgeous club logos? Yeah. And not allowed at all. It is against TI policy to have club logos or individual club taglines or slogans. And no, we cannot tilt that beautiful globe. Yep, it's right there in the TI branding portal. There you go, what not to do. Now, you could use the globe with your club name under it. We also have added to the color palette, we have the black as well as gold, like really gold, for our centennial year. Consider using photos of your own club members in your promotions. People want to imagine, they come to your meeting. It's like, oh yeah, we have 2 new families of fonts that you can download for free. Corinthia, you've been seeing in the slides as well as in the handout. Luxurious script would be perfect for those club anniversaries. So again, instead of an open house, have a free seminar, a free workshop. Abide by the branding. Just go back and tweak. You need some colors, it needs some fonts. And this was a fabulous event, having a world champion contestant. Oh, again, be careful not to put too much stuff in or to use cartoons, because we could be very simple and dynamic and to grab people's attention. You have a lot of support as well as a district incentive. So again, as I had mentioned, you have our district Speechcraft chair. Yay! And I mentioned Ann Golden. She is a fabulous masterclass trainer, and she has now been scheduled for you for Tuesday, January 14th as a standalone session on how to be a Speechcraft coordinator. She breaks it down. She's brilliant in what she does with this. For 90 minutes, you are going to love it. So put that on your calendar, January 14th, and watch for more information. I believe we're going to be putting the live link, there we go, into the chat for that. And Louisa can address this even more, but you have an incentive, again, regarding the requirements for hosting a Speechcraft. Upon successful completion, your club will be reimbursed through Concur for that $50 US digital bundle. So in the chat, one final time. What is your interest in hosting a Speechcraft program? Please put the number in the chat box, especially for number 1, that yes, you want to conduct a Speechcraft in your club, and name your club, please. Name your club, please. This will help Tara as well as Louisa be able to be of support for you. Number 2, that you want to host a Speechcraft to start a new club. Number 3, you'll complete a Speechcraft before the end of this Toastmaster year, which means June 30th. Whoops. And number 4, that you're currently conducting a program. So I'll leave this slide up as you light up the chat again. Thank you. And as we pull this masterclass all together, I pretty much did a Vulcan mind meld with you. I know, live longer, prosper. Yeah. By the way, Leonard Nimoy was a Toastmaster. I asked him myself. I was his concierge at his final San Diego Comic-Cons, and had the pleasure of being his concierge and his chauffeur. and I needed to excuse myself from his service. And he said, "Oh, well, where are you going?" And I said, I'm giving a keynote. "Well, where?" And I told him the university. "Well, who's the group?" And I told him. He says, "Toastmasters." "I was a Toastmaster once." "Really, sir? When was that?" 1954. Brent Spiner, the android Data, was sitting in the back seat. I know, lucky me, right, to have both of them. And he said, well, Len, do you think that, like, would Toastmasters help me?" Mr. Nimoy, in sheer dignity, "Yes, yes, I do." So I still stay in touch with Data. But anyway, rest in peace, Leonard Nimoy, one of our fellow Toastmasters. Thank you for your interest in this program. Thank you for your interest and the heart of Toastmasters in boosting our membership. It's been my privilege to serve you. And Madam Club Growth Director Louisa, I return the platform to you. Have a great club officer training. Have fun. When you work this program works. Madam Director.